Hello, I wanted to make a video on how to upgrade your store-bought guinea pig, or I think this is actually a rabbit, technically a rabbit cage, but I didn't like the small guinea pig cages that they had, so we went for a bigger, roomier version. And I also wanted to give our little guinea pigs, Chloe, who is in her house, and Zoe, who's hiding right behind, a little bit more room to be able to run around when they were not, on the floor for floor time or outside. So this just gives them just a little bit more space and a little bit more to do. So I was on YouTube trying to find how to do this. And I was pretty obsessive over trying to find something, and I could not find anything until I came across a video by Gus and Snoopy that I can link in the description box, where she incorporated a homemade coroplast box and a CNC panel in her CNC cage to make a kitchen for her guinea pigs. Hers looks a little bit fancier than mine, a little bit nicer, but I think I've adapted the concept to work pretty well for our store-bought cage. So I credit the inspiration for this for her. The materials I used were a hole punch, cable ties, tape measure, pencil. I used hockey tape for the ramp because my husband plays hockey, but you could probably just use some twine, wrap some twine around it, or just anything that could give it some grip. I also used some scissors, which were really hard to cut the coroplast. You might be able to use a box knife, but if you do that, just please be very careful. Those things really freak me out, so that's why I didn't use it, but it might be easier. And the last thing that you need is coroplast, which is, I didn't figure this out till later, but coro for corrugated and plast for plastic, because if you can kind of see right here, it looks like cardboard, but it is actually made out of plastic, so that's why they call it the coroplast. I had actually, like I said, I'd never heard of the stuff before, so when I went out trying to find it and trying to explain it to people, it was kind of frustrating because it was hard to explain it to people, and most people didn't know where it was, and I finally found it at Home Depot in the US, where I'm from, and I located it in the windows and door sections. That's where they had plexiglass. They also had plexiglass in the same little section, so if they don't know what coroplast is, you could probably ask for plexiglass. But most of the employees didn't know what I was talking about, so don't let that discourage you if you can't find it or if nobody knows where it is. Just keep looking. So basically, when I got home with the coroplast, I took it and I measured this area right here. This is all actually one piece all the way to this little lip, and I just perforated the underside so that it would just kind of bend over. So the side is 5 inches, this is about the bottom, the base is about 19 inches, and then I just made like a little 1-inch lip there so their bedding wouldn't get out. And I took, for the back portion, I wanted it to be a little bit bigger so their hay wouldn't fall behind the cage, and I kind of took it out just a little bit so that you can kind of see where the bedding is kind of going under. Hi, Zoe! Where the bedding is coming out just a little bit so it wouldn't go behind the cage. Hi, sweetie! Hi, Chloe! We've only had them for about 2 weeks, so they're still getting used to us. So I took that, so that's a little bit bigger than everything else. So the side portion right here is about 5 inches, the base is 19, 1 inch for this area right here, right there. And this side is also 5 inches, just to kind of let them be able to see out the top, but also keep their bedding in. And I just took our hole punch, and I punched little holes, see if I can zoom in here, little holes in the side, and I just took the cable ties that I had and just attached them to the sides. A little note, and something I was really glad I figured out before I did it, is when, oh, what's wrong? are you unhappy she took your little spot? Is to make sure that you are creating a space, you're taking into account this bottom part in with your calculations of figuring out where your base should go, because when you lift the whole cage off, you're kind of like, oh, well, I should do it from the middle. No, you kind of want to go just a little bit below half so they have room in case you want to put a little house or something underneath, which is what I did. So make sure you take that into account. Let's see what else. The ramp. I only took 2 ties at the very top. Let me open it up here and show you. Their bedding is right here, so it's kind of messy. But I just took 2 ties and I made sure that this part overlapped this part, so the bedding could kind of get a little bit more trapped and there'd be just a little bit more to keep it from going down. And then I took a cable tie and I put a hole right here just to kind of, you know, make it a little bit more stable. And then I put before I did that, I put the tape on it just to give them a little bit of grip. And so yeah, that's we call it the tree house. At least my daughter calls it the tree house because they have a little area. For right now, I'm keeping the food down here because they're still learning it. I didn't want them to go hungry, so I only put their hay up at the top, so hopefully that'll lure them up there a little bit. But just in case, I wanted to keep their food down here. But eventually, once they get used to it, this might actually become their kitchen, just to kind of keep it all contained. Hi! Hi, sweetie! Hi, Zoe! Hi, Chloe! So, I apologize, the cage is a little bit of a mess. I forgot to put in their toys, so they have been messing with the newspaper a little bit. So far I have not had any trouble with stuff coming through the bottom, but then again, they haven't had that much time up there, so I can always comment if things start to look a little rough. But so far, they have figured out how to get up there at least once. Last night I put some spinach up at the top and down the ramp just to see if during the night and the morning that they, you know, would go up there, and they did. It was gone this morning, so they are getting some use out of it, but like I said, they're still a little nervous. They're getting used to us, and we're getting used to them, and so yeah, this works out pretty well for us. If you wanted to take a store-bought cage and upgrade it for your piggies, you might be able to figure out how to kind of bring it over to here, but I figured in order to keep, you know, it easy to be able to clean, because right now I can just take the paper up and, you know, go through here, but if you brought it all the way over here, you might have trouble cleaning it out because you might have a very small window to be able to get in there. But you might be smarter than me and be able to figure it out and give your piggies some more room. So this is the guinea pig treehouse upgrade. Hope this helps. Leave me any comments if I was unclear on some things or just left things out. If you need more measurements or materials or advice. Hope you found this informative, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.